Greetings, loved ones. Welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with Wa. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Wa. My name is Abby, and I am the resident ate girl of Words Anonymous. If this is your first time, welcome to our series of videos that we put out every Wednesday, wherein we share our tips, tricks, and whatever anything under the sun on our Words Anonymous channel. Yay! So for previous episodes, we already had like a spoken word starter pack with Louise Meets. You can click it somewhere here, and then the spoken word and Who Got Culture with Juan Miguel Severo, and then with Roch and Janelle with their writing tips down here, and then somewhere in the middle, I don't know how this will work, but like Wa read Sierra de Mulder, which was our latest episode last week. We had her last Sunday. It was really, really awesome, and we love you, Sierra. Now, for this episode, we are going to talk about performance with all of the jazz hands, cause that's a really, really big part of spoken word poetry. So, if you are interested in learning more about that, stick around, and we're gonna be talking about that after this very, very cool intro. Hello! Magandang araw, gabi, hapon, kung nasan ka man nanonood ngayon. Wherever you are, welcome once again to Wednesdays with Wa. And today, we are going to talk about performance. Jazz hands. Kasi nga, ang spoken word poetry ay ang poetry na isinulat meant for performance. So, poetry meant to be performed. Sarah Kay once said in her TED Talk na ang spoken word poetry ay kapag ang theater at ang poetry, if they came together and had a beautiful baby, it would be spoken word poetry. Nakikita natin na ang spoken word poetry ay talagang malaking part nito ay performance dahil ang spoken word poetry ay ang mga tula that is written for performance. Spoken word poets are mainly storytellers. And ang mga storytellers, kung napapansin nyo yung mga, kung paano nagkukwento o kung naabutan nyo pa si Kuya Boji sa Batibot at kung sino pang napapanood nating mga storytellers on TV or on YouTube, na ang performance ay isang malaking part ng kung paano nila napapadala yung mensahe nila across to those that are listening. It's the same thing with spoken word poetry. What are the elements of good stage presence? How can we get and keep our audience's attention? Kasi syempre kailangan, 'di ba, nakukuha mo sila kapag nagpe-perform ka. So, here are some of the elements that we have to focus on. First one, very important, eye contact. 'Di ba kapag kunwari may kinakausap kang tao at kinukwentuhan mo sila, para nakatutok sila ng atensyon sa'yo, tinitignan mo sila sa mata. Ganon din pagdating sa spoken word poetry. Kailangan meron kang eye contact kapag nagpe-perform ka kasi doon makikita ng mga audiences kung gaano ka ka-sincere in your performance. Kasi sincerity is very, very important when it comes to storytelling or when it comes to spoken word poetry. Kasi 'di ba parang paano naman maniniwala sa iyo or paano naman makakapag-connect sa iyo ang audience mo kung hindi mo sila tinitignan. 'Di ba? Kung kunwari, for example, magpe-perform ako sa iyo nang hindi ako nakatingin ng ganito tapos pinapanood mo ko, 'di ba parang walang point. Kaya, mas magandang tinititigan mo. Tapos makaka-score ka pa sa mga cuties kapag nag-icon. Hindi yun kasama, pero alam mo yun, eye contact is very important for being sincere. Second one, this one naman deals with the voice. Kasi ang voice, aside from our eyes, aside from looking at our audience, ang boses natin, ang puhunan natin when it comes to spoken word, hindi ba? So, napaka-importante na kaya nating paglaruan at gamitin ito. So, yung second element, the first one is eye contact. The second one is the projection of the voice. Kapag sinabi nating projection, hindi ibig sabihin nito ay yung pasigaw ka na lang nagsasalita palagi. Hindi ganon. Hindi yon ang ibig sabihin ng projection of the voice. The projection of the voice means using your voice and yung volume ng boses mo to deliver a message even to the ones na nandun sa pinakalikod ng cafe kung saan ka man nagpe-perform or pinakalikod ng theater kung saan ka man nagpe-perform without having to shout at them, but delivering the message clearly using projection of your voice. Maaari mong hinaan, maaari mong lakasan, maaari mong itapon ang boses mo papunta sa kanila, maaari mong gamitin na parang bumubulong ka lang ng mahina, or maaari rin namang sinasabi mo ng malakas na malakas, maaari rin namang pasigaw ang gagawin mo. Iba-iba ang pwedeng gamitin natin sa projection. Pwedeng mahina, pwedeng medyo malakas, pwedeng normal lang, pwedeng napakalakas. Depende sa kung ano ang damdamin na gusto mong i-convey sa boses mo. Kasi, napaka-importante rin ng projection na, kasi 'di ba merong mga tao na kapag kausap mo sila ay parang pasigaw lang sila ng pasigaw. Tapos parang pag naririnig mo na, parang pasigaw lang lagi ng pasigaw yung sinasabi nila, parang ayaw mo na silang pakinggan kasi rinding-rindi ka na sa kanila. Ganun din yun when it comes to projection. So, for you to keep your audiences, you can play with the projection of your voice. Hindi kailangan laging mababa lang, hindi kailangan laging nasa taas lang, pero kailangan paglaruan mo yung pakiramdam gamit ng boses mo. 'Di ba? Yung third naman na element na kailangan nating tignan for good stage presence is enunciation. Enunciation. Kailangan malinaw ang pagkakasabi natin ng mga salita. Meron kasi ako personally, sakit ko to, na kapag nagpe-perform ako ay napakatamad kong maglabas ng mga salita. Imbis na sabihin ko ay okay, ang sasabihin ko ay okay, ganun lang. Kulang ng mga consonants at ng kung ano pang mga kung paano siya i-enunciate properly. Pero, ginagawa ko consciously na when it comes to performance, sinasabi ko ng maayos ang bawat salita. Depende rin sa kung paano ko siya ginagamit sa tula o kung paano ko siya ginagamit as a tool for telling my story. Kasi, kaya importante na i-enunciate mo, na sasabihin mo ang buong salita ng maayos dahil ito lang yung panahon na maririnig ng audience mo kung ano yung gusto mong sabihin. Wala silang hawak na transcript ng tula mo. Ang meron lang sila ay kung ano yung sinasabi mo. Kung hindi nila naiintindihan kung ano yung sasabihin mo on stage, malaki ang tsansa na hindi nila maiintindihan kung ano yung buong kwento. Kung kunwari, mamaya ang narinig pala nila ay ang sinusubukan mong sabihin ay patungkol sa pag-ibig para sa bayan, pero ang narinig nila ay ang pag-ibig para sa labada, hindi ko alam kung paano, maaaring nabingi lang sila o mali ang kanilang narinig. Mag-iiba ng buong kwento ang tula na tinatry mong i-perform on stage. So, enunciation is very important. So, first is eye contact. Second is projection. Third ay enunciation. Pang-apat naman, nandito tayo sa bilis o sa speed at sa paghinga. Minsan, lalo na kapag kunwari napaka-limited ng oras mo, nakaka-tempt na hindi na lang huminga. Lalo na kapag mabilis ka naman talaga magsalita. Kasi pwede ka naman magsalita ng tuloy-tuloy na hindi ka humihinga, di ba? Napaka-importante kasi ng bagal at ng bilis pagdating sa pagpe-perform, lalo na yung paghinga. Kasi yung mga paghinga, yung mga pag-pause, pagtigil, lahat ng yan ay nagiging parte ng kung paano mo sinasabi o kinukwento yung nasa tula mo. Kasi kung kunwari, gagawa ka lang ng isang tula na patungkol sa, for example, kung gagawin ko ang mahirap kalaban si Papa Jesus ng sobrang bagal, so sobrang haba ng tulang yon, baka nakatulog na tayong lahat ay hindi pa rin tapos ang kwento. Pero yung bilis at yung bilis, yung pagpigil, yung paghinga in between kada sentence, yung punctuation mark na ginagawa nating paghinga, ay nakakatulong siya in furthering the story. Kung magkukwento ka sa isang kaibigan mo na ang ginagawa mo lang ay tuloy-tuloy ka lang at hindi mo pinapansin kung nakikinig pa siya o hindi, tuloy-tuloy ka lang, hindi ka tumitigil, parang pag tinanong mo siya tungkol sa kwento mo, wala siyang nakuha about it. Unless na lang super sharp mind niya at talagang nagpe-pay attention siya the entire time. Pero that's very highly unlikely. So, yung speed and breathing is very important when it comes to performance or having good stage presence. facial expressions. Napaka-importante ng kung ano ang pinapakita ng iyong mukha kapag ikay nagpe-perform. Kasi aside from your voice, aside from your story, syempre, isa pang nakikita ng mga tao ay yung mukha. Dahil, dyan sila nakatingin, wala naman silang ibang titignan pa. So, yung expressions mo, syempre naman dapat, bagay siya sa kung ano yung pine-perform mo. Hindi naman kunwari magpe-perform ka ng sobrang malungkot na kwento, nakangiti ka ng ganito. Ganyan. Tapos nagkukwento ka, namatay yung aso ko. O kaya, alam mo yun, nanakawan ako kahapon, pero ganito yung itsura ko. Alam mo yun, hindi nagmamatch kung ano yung kwento mo sa kung ano yung itsura mo sa face mo. So, kailangan, napaka-importante rin ng facial expressions mo na minamatch natin sa kung ano yung kwento mo at sa kung ano yung itsura ng mukha mo. Diba? Napaka-simple, pero minsan nakakaligtaan natin yan. Merong panahon na nagbabasa lang ako ng tula, tapos nakakatawa naman yung kwento, pero yung itsura ng mukha ay ganito lang. Pero nakakatawa yung kwento. So, hindi nagmamatch yung facial expressions mo dun sa tula na sinasabi mo. Third one, pang ilan na to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 na pala. Hindi ako magaling magbilang. Pang-anim ay ang gestures o ang kamay. Kasi, di ba, ang kamay, magandang tool din siya for telling your story. Merong mga tao na hindi nila alam kung ano yung ginagawa nila sa kamay nila. So, ang ginagawa nila, ilalagay nila sa bulsa nila, o nilalagay nila sa harapan nila, o kaya pinaglalaroan nila yung buhok nila. Lahat ng yan ay part ng gestures. So, itong mga bagay na ito ay deliberate din siya kapag nagpe-perform ka. Sometimes you do what comes naturally to you, pero sometimes meron namang mga gesture na nakaka-distract at hindi na siya nakakatulong sa pagsabi ng kwento mo. May mga tao na, kunwari, gusto nilang i-emphasize ang lawak ng isang bagay. Kapag gusto nilang i-emphasize ang lawak ng isang bagay, bumibukas nila yung kamay nila na parang ganon. Or kung kunwari, kung gusto nilang i-emphasize kung gaano kaliit, pinapasok naman nila papaloob. Yung mga ganong klaseng gestures ay yun yung mga pinag-usapan natin na mga bagay na nakakatulong in telling your story. Kasi kung papaano ka gumalaw, kung papaano mo igalaw ang kamay mo on stage, nakaka-distract din kasi siya minsan. Lalo na kapag yung ginagawa ng kamay mo ay hindi nakakatulong sa pagkwento ng tula mo. Kakabit dyan ay ang iyong posture. Napaka-importante ng posture kasi, di ba, mas gusto mo nang makinig sa performer na maayos ang tindig at confident sa sarili niya at parang alam niya kung ano yung kinukwento niya sa'yo kaysa sa someone na parang nakalugmok ng ganito tapos hindi nakatingin sa'yo tapos ganito lang siya mag-perform. Nangyari rin yun sa akin before. Wag kayong mag-alala. Pinagdaanan ko yun lahat na kung paano maging isang weird na performer. Or, well, not really weird, pero kahit yung mga hindi ganun ka-confident na performer, may chance na hindi napapakinggan yung kwentong ganun dahil parang hindi nagaganahan yung mga tao na makinig sa kwento mo. Last part ng elements of good stage presence ay yung expertise ng paggamit ng mic. Napaka-importante niyan. Kasi kapag magaling kang gumamit ng mic, kapag alam mo kung paano siya gamitin, kung paano mo siya gagamitin to your advantage, ay nakakatulong siya sa buong stage presence mo. Kasi 'di ba, nakapansin na ba kayo ever ng taong nagpe-perform tapos parang ang gulo-gulo ng pag-handle niya ng mic, tapos parang ayoko na makinig sa kanya kasi hindi naman siya marunong humawak ng mic. Hindi naman madalas hinahawakan ng mic. Usually nakalagay siya sa mic stand. Kung maayos na siya at wala na siyang problema, huwag niyo na siyang galawin. Huwag niyo siyang galawin, huwag niyo na siyang banggain, huwag niyo siyang tanggalin, huwag niyo na siya i-adjust pag okay na siya sa inyo. Kapag hindi, adjust niyo na maayos, o kaya magpatulong kayo magpa-adjust, and then yung expertise of using the mic. So, ang mic na yan ay tool to help you tell your story. So, kapag usually ang rule pagdating sa paggamit ng mic, usually ginagamit din to ng mga singers, ay meron kang isang dangkal, ganyan, isang dangkal, na layo mula sa ilalim ng labi mo papunta doon sa mic. Ganito kalayo dapat madalas ang pagpe-perform para meron kang proper na tunog pag nagsasalita ka. Hindi siya masyadong malakas, hindi siya masyadong mahina. Pero alam mo, kapag doon naman sa parts na kung medyo mahina talaga ang boses mo o anuman, o kaya puro whispers yung ginagamit mo pagdating sa tala, okay lang naman na lumapit sa mic. Pero syempre, also, isipin na rin natin yung pagiging sanitary ng lahat ng bagay dahil hindi lang naman ikaw ang gagamit ng mic. Unless, may dala kang sarili mong mic, syala ka. Alam mo yon, lahat ng tao ay gumagamit ng mic. We don't want na, may sinisipon ng isa, makahawa siya kasi atsingan na niya yung or like whatever. Or nahawakan niya or masyadong malapit, para na rin kayong naghalikan. Ganong levels yon, friend. Kung hindi ka ready humalik ng mga random strangers during an open mic, gamitin natin yung isang dangkal rule. From your baba to the mic para safe naman tayong lahat pagdating sa pagpe-perform. At maayos din ang tunog, iwas feedback din yun. Kasi the more you hold the mic, madalas doon nagkakaroon ng feedback at yun yung, alam niyo yung parang sobrang tinis at maingay na sound pagdating sa performance, ganun yun. Okay, so, elements of good stage presence. 1, eye contact. 2, projection. 3, enunciation. 4, speed and breathing when it comes to performance. 5, facial expressions. 6, gestures. 7, posture. And then 8, your mic expertise. If you are starting out, if you're just starting out, or if you have been doing this for a while, it helps to do some research. There's so many napakaraming resources that are out there for you to watch, to listen to read on the internet, or probably, hopefully, one day in your library or on TV or whatever. There's so many videos on spoken word. You can watch how people do it. You can watch how they perform. Don't worry if you at the beginning you'll just be inspired by how other people do it, but in turn, if you keep on performing and performing and performing, you will be able to develop your own style of performance, diba? One day, yun din yung goal, that you can be, well, not really necessarily unique because there's nothing unique in the world anymore, pero at least develop your own style that is comfortable for you, your type of performance, what you do as a performer. And do not forget to keep on performing. Look for the avenues where you can perform or you can share your work, because if you practice, that is how you can get better at what you do. Kasi just like any skill or craft, spoken word is a lot of work. It's not just you going up on stage and performing just once. That doesn't make you a spoken word artist. But if you keep on performing and performing and performing, and you care enough to work hard into improving your craft and to becoming a better spoken word poet, or to become this wonderful, genuine performer, then that's well and good, because that's how you can get to your best shape. If you really want to do this, if you really want to become a good spoken word poet, if you really want to be able to, become this person that you want to be, you have to work hard on it and be patient. Nothing good ever comes on the first try. You have to try again and again and again and again. And I remember those first days that I performed like shit, and I just wanted to not do this anymore, but thank God I had friends to support me. I love you, Words Anonymous. You are my world that kept me going, that helped me and support me into everything that I do. So having a community, having people around you, having people support you, that is also one good thing that you can have to help you become the performer that you want to be. So if you have any questions or comments about this episode or about any of our other episodes, feel free to comment down below in the comment box down below, or send us a private message. You can follow me on Twitter, on my professional Facebook page, or through Words Anonymous. You can send a message, or through email or whatever, homing pigeon, I don't know, wherever you want to send a message or a question. We will try our hardest to answer all of them if you have any. And do not forget, we have a book tuwing ikatlong Sabado. This book is actually finally out exclusively in National Bookstore. So I think Zuela already posted about it, that this is already out in National Bookstore Glorieta. I'm sure the other branches of National Bookstores will have them soon. This is 185 pesos. It is a collection of poems that we had. So all of the members of Words Anonymous are in here. These are poems that we have done while we were still in SEVs and after, because kaya siya tuwing ikatlong Sabado, if you're curious about that, because we used to have open mics. That's where we got together as a group and got to know each other every third Saturday of the month at Sevs Cafe. We miss you, Sevs. We miss you, Mami Ipat and Daddy Howie. Love you po. We also have a collab with Sud, which is Skin. This is a collection of spoken word poems plus their music. It is awesome. It is out. If you have any questions about these, please send us a message. If you want copies of these, if you want to know where you can get them, send us a message. Anywhere, we are everywhere. And again, this has been another episode of Wednesdays with Wa. Thank you for sticking around. I hope you learned something, and stick around because next week there's another new topic that we are going to talk about. Thank you. I love you. You're important. Take care.